Wildcat Basketball Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the official U of A debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org.
Welcome to another edition of Wildcat Weekly with head coach Sean Miller. Cats on the road this week as they take on Oregon State in Oregon up in the Northwest. We'll get to that in a moment, but Coach, congratulations on an outstanding win in Tempe against your rival, and a heck of a ball game for one. I want to go early second half. Arizona State came out of the locker room, took the lead, and it was one of those turning points. Either they keep the momentum or your team gets it back. How did your team get it back then in the second half?
Well, you're right. It was almost three different games in one game. It was the fast offensive start that we had where, we were up by a sizable margin, came out with a lot of confidence, made a number of three-point shots. And then, to ASU's credit, and they have a good team, they played inspired basketball. They turned us over. That led to transition. They fed off the transition, which allowed three-point shots. And I think at one point they may have outscored us to a 31-6 deficit, which, if you think about it, it's hard to win on the road when a team does that to you. And then the final stretch is probably the most meaningful, and that is that we regained our composure. I think from an offensive perspective, we did an excellent job of getting the ball around the basket. DeAndre, as an individual player on our team, went to the highest level you could. And we strung together good defense with good offense and clearly finished the game very, very strong. And doing that, I think, with the emotion of the game and the crowd, it meant a lot. And I think it gives us confidence moving forward.
Was there a lot of talk at halftime or in some of those early timeouts in the second half about getting the ball inside more, or was it just a matter of the guys feeling that and finding open teammates?
We always want to get it inside, and that's not to the detriment of our guards. Alonzo, Raleigh, Parker, those guys are all very good players, but the thing you realize if you have that mindset of getting the basketball close to the rim, that you get two people on DeAndre, both Dusan and DeAndre are willing passers. Sometimes the best open shots we create happen because the ball got in there first. And that was part of our good finish. It wasn't just all inside. Alonzo hit a big three-point shot, but it came from DeAndre inside out. And teams have a hard time playing those guys one-on-one, and force the double team, you have to get them the ball. And sometimes it's easier said than done. It's not as if the other team is saying, hey, throw it inside. They know, just like we know, that getting it in there is a problem. So they mask things, they pressure the ball, they trap, they front the post, and times, no matter how badly we want to get it in, we don't want to force it in there. But that was a big difference down the stretch for sure.
Hughes is proud to have been serving the local community and delivering outstanding financial performance and value to their members since 1952.
As a performer, my time is valuable, and I count on Hughes Mobile Services to help me run my life.
I'm so glad I made the switch to Hughes.
I love being a Hughes member. They're local, and they give back to my community.
Make the switch. Team up with Hughes Federal Credit Union by becoming a member today.
Wildcat Basketball Weekly continues, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Show your Wildcat spirit with a U of A Visa debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org.
Got Oregon State on Thursday night in Corvallis, and like many teams, the Beavers play better at home than they do on the road, so they've got a home game. And you've talked this week about experience factor, and you've got some experienced guys on your team. Oregon State has a lot of experience on theirs. What makes the Beavers a tough team right now?
Well, they're physical. They hang their hat with their defense. They're one of our conference's best defensive teams. They play a zone, but not just a zone. They play man-to-man as well. They have a tremendous shot blocker who I don't think gets enough credit for how well he plays, Drew Eubanks. And he's blocked more shots than DeAndre has. He's one of the leading shot blockers in our conference. As a matter of fact, he might even be leading our conference in shot blocks. So you have him, and then they steal the ball. Stephen Thompson in particular just always seems to be getting deflections. So it's their block shots and their steals that lead to transition. And then offensively, Stephen Thompson and Trace Tinkle, both 16, 18 points a game, so they combine for about 34 points per game. And like you said, they're not freshmen anymore. They played a lot as freshmen. They're in their third year, and they're a good basketball team, and I believe that they're playing their best right now.
You used that word confidence earlier, and your team's got confidence right now. Do you sense that that is something that has grown a lot recently with this team, or has it been something that's made this a very successful season?
Probably by increments. I don't know if it's just been one moment or 1 week. It's been slow and steady. I think some players have gained confidence quicker than others. But as a team, when you get into games 27 through 31, the final stretch, if you've had success on the road and you've been able to be in a lot of tough games and pull a number of them out, performance gives you confidence as well. And I'm really hoping, that the last part of things is, especially the guys that don't start the game, that end this season with the most confidence that they've had, because they've all worked very hard. They're all good players in their own right, and we need our bench. We need to be able to sub and get good minutes from those guys coming in the game.
All right, 4 more games left in the regular season, 2 on the road this week at Oregon State Thursday, at Oregon on Saturday, and then home to Stanford and Cal to wrap up the regular season. And we'll see you next time on Wildcat Weekly.
Thanks for watching Wildcat Basketball Weekly, presented by Hughes Federal Credit Union, home of the free U of A Visa debit card. Get yours today at hughesfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.